Back home now, the New Zealand Prime Minister is here, and in comments that could well irritate China, Christopher Luxon is taking a more hawkish tone, aiming for a closer defence relationship with our military. Joining us live now is the New Zealand PM, Christopher Luxon. Prime Minister, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. So, why are you taking a much clearer line on China than your Labor predecessors did?
Well, look, we've got a foreign policy reset under our new government, and all we're saying is our national interests are actually served by both our security and our economic interests in the Indo-Pacific region. Australia is our only ally, and as we do our defence capability plan and our review, it makes sense for us to be increasingly interoperable with Australia, and also, given the close working relationship that we have.
So, how would you like? What shape would you like that to be if we are closer? What do you want from us? What might you expect?
Well, look, I think Australia and New Zealand have always had a really strong relationship. I often describe it as family, and Australia is our only ally. It's a long-standing relationship and partnership and friendship that we have. Got strong people-to-people
Your only
ties.
ally? You've got a few more allies than us, don't you?
Yeah. Well, our only formal ally is actually Australia. But what I'd say to you is that, we've got strong people-to-people ties. We've got certainly great economic connections with a single economic market. We've obviously got security and defence interests that are aligned. And we've got a big role to play together in the Pacific and partnering with our Pacific Island nation friends as well. So, look, it's a pretty cool relationship, and it's one that I just want to make sure we continue to deepen. Still
with your predecessors, Jacinda Ardern, she was miffed about AUKUS. Just for the record, you support it, right?
Yeah, look, we think AUKUS is actually, gives good regional security within the region. And obviously, like the previous Labor government, we're open to exploring whether there's New Zealand involvement in AUKUS Pillar 2. Okay. That'll take some time, though.
So where do you see opportunity for New Zealand to contribute to AUKUS?
Well, look, again, that's something that we'll work through over the coming months. I mean, AUKUS Pillar 2, which is a component part of AUKUS, obviously, is actually quite undefined. And that's why, as I said, our position hasn't changed from the previous government, which is that we're open to exploring it. Our officials will continue to do that, and that will take some time, I suspect.
Would you have any concerns about Australia developing nuclear energy?
Well, look, I mean, the New Zealand nuclear-free policy is not changing. There is, and Australia understands that for New Zealand. There is just no change whatsoever there, and no appetite to change it whatsoever. So, that's a well-understood piece. That aside, where can we be increasingly interoperable? When we're doing joint procurement, those sorts of things, we're up for all of those kind of conversations. The first job for us is to go through our defence capability review, which we hope to complete by the end of the year, maybe early next year, and go forward from there.
OK, in your discussions with our Prime Minister, will 501 come up today involving deportees?
Yeah, look, I'm sure it will. Good friends should be able to talk about points of difference well and straight up and up front, and we'll do that. I fully respect Australia's decision to make its own laws. I think, from my point of view and, from previous New Zealand Prime Minister's point of views as well, it doesn't make much sense to send people who have no or limited connection to New Zealand back to New Zealand. And the Prime Minister's reassured me a common sense approach will continue, and of course we'll continue to monitor that.
OK, I'm curious, PM, there is a hot debate here at the moment over race. I'm not sure if you've caught the news this morning, but I want to ask you, do you think it's racist to pause refugees from coming here from Gaza while appropriate security checks are carried out of fears that they may sympathise with Hamas, the terror group?
Look, I'm not wading into Australian domestic politics, Peter, at all.
More broad? You don't have a broad view on that?
Well, all I'm worried about as Prime Minister of New Zealand to make sure that I've got my settings right in New Zealand, and I'm very comfortable with our processes around that.
I thought you might say that. Now, let's leave on a lighter note, or is it? Because we talk of allies. You say the relationship is cool, but last week you said this about Australians during a debate.
The correspondence was being directed to an Australian minister overseas. And what I'd say to you in my dealings with Australians, it always pays to be incredibly simple and clear and use English.
Supplementary. Good to see him leading by example.
Do friends call friends simple, PM?
Look, I think in the Trans-Tasman relationship, there is a very good dose of our humour, and if we ever lose that, God help us, that'll be terrible. But
just for clarification,
take our job seriously, but not ourselves.
Look, it's all fun and games, but
it was a joke.
I get that. But are you saying that we're simple, or that things need to be explained simply? Because I, for one, don't mind that. In a complicated world of politics, I like being explained simple things simply.
Well, yeah, I think I'm new to politics. I've been there 3 and a bit years, and that's my observation as well. I think the simpler things can be, the better, so that people can get things done for people is what we're here to do. So, but no, look, we've got a great relationship with Australia. It's good that we can have some fun and some humour. I mean, the other thing you should really talk about, Peter, frankly, is who won the Olympics. And, yeah, we really appreciate Australian athletes. I think you did a fantastic job. You've got some incredible performances. You did well.
Well, as you did.
We just did better, that's all.
If you're looking at population, I mean, you did on the list.
Oh, I think we
10 gold medals.
I think we won 3 times more. I think we won 3 times more than the Australians.
Well,
but let's
anyway.
not go there today.
No, we won't go there. We'll just look at the overall tally, and we were far above you. So appreciate that. Let's just not talk about rugby union at all. PM, good to have you with us. Appreciate your time.